Welcome back to my channel at The Movie Optimist, where I try and find the silver linings in even the worst of films. Tonight, I just got done watching a new movie called Cold Storage, starring Liam Neeson and Joe Keery. For those of you who don't know, Joe Keery is Steve Harrington from Stranger Things. In this film, a very violent and fast-acting fungus finds its way to Earth through a fallen NASA spaceship that plummets to the ground in Australia, and it starts wreaking havoc amongst a small town out there. The military is sent in to contain it, which they do, and they bring it to this underground facility where it's to be kept in cold storage so it doesn't ever get out while they experiment on it and do tests on it to find out where it came from. However, the finances to keep this facility going wind up depleting, therefore shutting down the facility, and the military is sent in to destroy everything, but they don't. They accidentally leave a little bit behind. And 20 years later, we find ourselves in present day where Joe Keery's character works as a security guard in this facility that is now operating as a storage facility unit where people come and store their belongings. A stream of water finds its way in through a crack into the room where this underground bunker holding this fungus is, and it starts wreaking havoc on this storage unit facility where Joe Keery and this girl that he's working with have to contain it while they wait for Liam Neeson, who's one of the only people that know about this fungus from the previous operation that happened 20 years prior, to come and destroy it once and for all. This really is a movie about Joe Keery and his partner containing this thing long enough for Liam Neeson to get there and stop it. And in a lot of ways, this movie is capitalizing on the success of Stranger Things. The only time I ever saw a trailer for this movie was in front of the Stranger Things season finale that I saw in theaters, and they knew what they were doing because he essentially is a little bit more of a dirtbag version of Steve Harrington, where he's this guy that's like out of prison, got this job as a security guard at this storage facility during night shifts, but he does have a lot of the same mannerisms and he does act a lot of the ways that Steve Harrington acted in that, and they were smart. They knew what they were doing putting the trailer in front of Stranger Things. They knew that the Stranger Things audience would probably want to show up to watch this, and so we have, because Stranger Things is my favorite TV show of all time, just behind Breaking Bad. I have this void in my heart, this thing that feels missing since Stranger Things ended, and this was a really good way to get that fix that I know I'm not going to get anymore with Stranger Things, because tonally it's the same thing. It's an action-adventure thriller with some great horror and gore in there, but it definitely plays towards a younger audience because it's not too scary. The gore itself isn't super bloody. It's more like this green bile that comes out of the infected with the fungus. These people act like bloater zombies walking around and they explode, and all this green goo goes all over the place. It infects deers, it infects cockroaches, it infects mice, and Joe Keery has a lot of one-liners like he does in Stranger Things, and it really does play to the audience of Stranger Things. If you like Stranger Things, you're probably going to like this movie. Liam Neeson is in it, but not as much as Joe Keery and the girl, and I keep saying the girl because I forgot the girl's name, but she is wonderful in it. He is in it, but not nearly as much. He kind of shows up towards the end of the film to help them stop this fungus once and for all, and he plays the character that you would expect Liam Neeson to play. He's the gun-toting, badass, macho military guy that's going to save the day, and this movie really does rest on the shoulders of Joe Keery, because for the first, I'd say 75% of this movie, it really does rely on the chemistry of just Joe Keery and this girl rummaging around this storage facility trying to contain this virus that isn't quite violent yet. Like, there's not a lot of exciting stuff happening until the last 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, but it's so much fun watching these two characters bond and have their one-liners together and learn about them that it's a testament to how good of an actor and actress they both are and how tight of a script it is that they're able to entertain you with them just walking around these dark, creepy hallways talking. When the action does hit the fan, you do get a lot of really grotesque violence, a lot of bodies exploding in CGI fashion. Yes, this movie does utilize a lot of CGI, and no, it is not great CGI because it is a very low budget film, but knowing that going into it, I was a lot more forgiving of it. I wasn't looking for Avengers or Avatar level CGI. If that's something that bothers you a lot, seeing kind of cheesy CGI, it might pull you out of it a little bit, but the chemistry between Joe Keery and the other girl is fantastic. Liam Neeson's really funny in it. You got some great gore, some great violence, some great action. Some jump scares are in here, some great comedy. I think that this movie was a really good time and a really effective film if you are, again, looking for something to fill that Stranger Things void. Now, like I said, this movie is not perfect. It does have some bad CGI. The movie is rushed a little bit in the final act. It's only an hour and a half. I feel like they didn't want to overstay their welcome. There is some logic problems. People wind up in certain circumstances because it needs to further the plot along, even though the thing they're doing is absolutely insane. Like, no one would ever do that. People go left when they should be going right. Things like that, where it's like sometimes the script can get a little bit lazy, but it is saved by the outstanding chemistry from Joe Keery, and I just love watching him as an actor act in movies like this that are like these adventure sci-fi horror type things. It's probably the closest thing I'm ever going to get to seeing him as a Steve Harrington type character again. I truly love that show, and if you need more proof, I literally got a tattoo of Steve Harrington wielding the baseball bat from Stranger Things on my arm. And I can promise you, if you like Stranger Things, you're definitely going to like this movie. I would absolutely recommend going and checking it out while it is still in theaters. Show studios that we want more of Joe Keery. We want more movies like this that feel like an older 80s style Romero type horror film. A little campy, a little cheesy, but a lot of fun. I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I really can't recommend it enough if you're a fan of this genre, if you're a fan of these actors, if you're a fan of Stranger Things. But I would love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you know about this movie coming out? Because quite frankly, I didn't. They didn't do a lot of marketing for this film, clearly with the low budget that it is. But what say you? Has my review swayed your opinion on whether or not you want to see it or not? Or are you going to wait to watch it on VOD? I highly recommend you go and support it in theaters so we get more movies like this. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you next time.